Hey, Mike.
Pete.
What was up with that little delay there?
What? It's time travel. Things get a little timey-wimey.
Okay. All right.
So
I'm good with that.
I got a word for you. Now you
I like
may or
words.
may not know this word, I personally find it kind of a cute. It's an affectionate. I use it affectionately. Okay.
Uh-oh.
So
you're not. It's not one of these words you're taking back, is it?
No.
Okay.
No, this is everyone. This is a free word. This is a public domain. It's a word in the public domain.
Okay.
Whale tail.
Oh, I know what whale tail is. No, I know this one. I know that you're not going to trip me up this time. This is when a girl, I guess it could be a guy, equal opportunity here. It is when a person wears a G-string, which comes up out of their pants and does this thing that looks like the tail of a whale.
Oh, very, very good. That is exactly correct. You couldn't be any more right.
Nice. You like that?
Win.
See, I'm in touch with the kids today.
You win, sir. And with that, let's start the show.
This show is not safe for work. If you're around sensitive ears, this is your only warning, because it's time for the MythWits, the show dedicated to all things geek pop culture, drenched in absurdity and coated with sarcasm. Every week, we bring you news and interviews from the Geekoverse. We do our damnedest to be funny, but there are no guarantees. I'm your host, Peter Bryant, and joining me this week is the sole host, Michael Kafis. Sorry, Brian has the night off. He's got, I don't know, cooties or something.
His whale tail's infected.
Whale tail got infected. Okay. Our guest this week is Joshua Dunn. Joshua, welcome to the show.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Doing pretty good
Very
so
good.
far, I think.
Better than that skull behind you.
Yes. Oh, what, that one? Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a splitting headache.
Yes, he does. Came all the way from Hawaii with that headache.
Oh, okay.
So Joshua is a science fiction and fantasy author. Lives in some place in Washington.
Issaquah.
Told you you'd mangle it.
Yeah.
You like the way I did that, Mike?
It gets worse when people are asked to pronounce Puyallup and Tukwila and Snoqualmie.
Okay. He began writing in 2009 while attending Hillendale College. Oh, are you a youngin'?
Yeah, depends on what you define as young, but kind of.
I'm about to be 46.
Okay, you're a little older than me.
Okay. And has continued doing so ever since. His first novel, Exile Empire, came out, I guess it's 2 years ago now. And The sequel, Ascension, came out just this past year. And he's working on his third one, which is due to come out soon. But we're going to talk to him all about that. And I believe, Josh, we said these all take place in the Hyperion Empire, is it?
Yes, it is a obviously original science fiction universe. I built it off of hard science fiction because it originated when I was taking a look at a lot of the science fiction out there and was really frustrated with all the mainstream science fiction. It was actually science fantasy. And mainly because I have a formal education in political science and economics, I was really frustrated with how far they deviated from actual human behavior in the actual societies. And I think you need a good foundation in that area in order to really have an interesting story in other areas.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So I put a lot of effort into developing realistic societies that actually would have people in them.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, because a lot of times that's the problem. People, they do science fiction and they get the science, so they put all this cool, crazy, scientific-y type stuff in there. I mean, and science fantasy, but they're always worried about the tech and all the aliens and all that kind of stuff, and they don't spend enough time focusing on what makes the story and actually a good story. So science fiction tends to be a medium in which we address our issues, but we're allowed to look at them externally by using alien races or crazy situations. Like, what would we do in this situation, which is not anything that we have here, but it allows us to remove ourselves from ourselves to find ourselves.
Yeah.
The here now.
Wow, man. Let's get past
well, you can't have a good foil with which to examine mankind if your civilization that you're using is so absurdly different as to not even function along the same premise.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, Mike, what were you saying?
No, that was deep, man. You must have smoked a lot of something.
Like that. I went out here to get here.
Yeah, you did.
The concept is a cow, and it has been thoroughly milked.
Yes. No, so I read a lot of science fiction. Obviously, I'm a science fiction nut all my life, and so is Mike, as you can tell. But we Mike and I generally tend to think along the same lines. Although he's a little more forgiving than I am, right, Mike?
I don't. All right. What's your example?
A little bit.
You say that? What makes you say that? Give me an example.
All right. So remember the fight we had, the opening episode of this show about the Star War? We were, I was being overly critical.
Well, the most recent Star Wars movie,
Yeah.
you take out the weird super weapon, but in the number of ships and scale of combat shown, it was less of a Star War, more of a Star Skirmish.
Yeah, pretty much. And that always seems to be the case in all those movies. It always feels like there's these two little bands fighting, and you're like, where's all these? There's this empire, right? Yeah. Where is this empire that we speak of?
Well,
the
and
people forget
that nations today can field hundreds of thousands of troops, just nations on one planet.
Yep.
How many troops and how many warships could an entire planet field?
Right.
And they think that a few Star Destroyers full of stormtroopers are going to be able to conquer a planet. No, that's not going to happen.
I mean, look, for example, you take our military, or the United States, because we have foreign fans. You take foreign, listen to me. We have fans that are not United States people. Yeah.
We have planet Earthian fans.
Yeah, I keep screwing this up.
Way to put your foreign foot in your mouth.
Right, I know. Let me see if I can fit.
Just give the Belarusians a shout out.
Right, right, exactly.
Hey, does that foot have a passport? Stop. So take the United States invasion of Iraq. We went in with overwhelming, force.
I think it was 100,000 soldiers.
Right, and with like advanced technology, we were killing them wholesale. Right. They didn't stand a chance. It still took us a while, right? And even then, it took us forever to control it. And we never actually controlled it. We still don't control it.
Well, the lack of control that we had spawned ISIS.
Right, exactly. So to think that you could show up with a couple Star Destroyers and take over a whole planet is somewhat silly.
I don't know. I think it's because they didn't have clones. It's just me.
Clones? Okay.
They didn't bring the Gungans with them, damn it. All right, so enough about the Star War. Let's talk about Hyperion Empire. So where did you get the idea for Hyperion Empire, and what is the Hyperion Empire?
The Hyperion Empire is set 450 years in the future. It follows the assumption that mankind does the typical science fiction thing. And the biggest assumption I have, the farthest deviation from modern technology, is the idea that we discover what exactly gravity is and are capable of manipulating it.
Okay.
Because those are pretty far-fetched compared to our current capabilities. And so what I did is, once you have that, Alcubierre engines became possible. Do you guys know what that is?
I'm sorry, what was that?
An Alcubierre engine?
I've never heard that term before.
No, I haven't heard the term,
my friend.
It is a engine that generates a gravity singularity, basically a miniature black hole.
Okay,
and
I know what that is.
As you fall towards it, your projection moves forward, and therefore basically you can avoid E equals mc squared by falling faster than light.
Oh,
so it's
okay.
It's close to like warp drive, right? Basically is.
Well, since gravity ignores the laws of physics, because we know it can suck things faster than light, because it can suck light itself, it's basically warp drive.
Okay, very cool. All right.
And the concept is that the bigger your ship, the faster you can actually go, because you have a bigger engine to be able to generate a more powerful singularity. So unlike a lot of science fictions where the smaller the ship is, the farther its range is, it's the opposite with this. So if you want to send somebody on a massive exploration mission, you're going to require one Titan and a starship. But the idea is that we were exploring it, expanding, and this is all in the prologue, so I'm not giving any spoilers away.
Right.
and we weren't running into any aliens. So we did exactly what we've done for the past several thousand years, and continued to colonize, expand, and kill each other. And we continued to get better at colonizing, expanding, and killing each other.
Yeah.
And a whole bunch of nations formed. Practice. Until the inevitable happens, and we do run into an alien, and it's the worst possible combination of events when running into the alien. They're more advanced than us. There's more of them than us, and they think that we're tasty.
Okay.
Ooh,
and that's a bad combination.
Delicacy. Yeah, but the delicacy one, I've never heard of that one before.
So that's where the classicness ends. The humans obviously take issue with this, and very quickly all of the human nations and solar systems and pseudo empires end up in a loose alliance against this foreign aggressor.
Okay.
And the war doesn't go well. We get our butts handed to us thoroughly. Until they suddenly stop receiving reinforcements. And then we're able to start cornering ships, capturing them, pirating their technology, et cetera, doing the old tactical war, human thing. But let's face it, humans are a warfaring species. When left to our own devices, we are a brutal, destructive, even our creative ends are fueled by war. Most of our advanced technology we have now spawned by World War II.
Right.
The other advanced stuff spawned by competition that was almost a war, the Cold War. And so we advance very quickly because of this. And we actually end up beating this aggressor and fighting our way all the way to their homeworld. And much to our eternal sorrow, we find out why they stopped receiving reinforcements. There's another species that's about to just wipe out the planet. And then they see us. Our ships look very similar to our enemies now because we've stolen so much of their technology that they decide to wipe us out too. Yeah. As it turns out, it would have happened anyway because this is a species that hibernates and lives in a synthetic reality. Are you familiar with Asimov's stages of civilization?
No, I embarrassingly new.
Stages of
Okay.
civilization.
Stage 0 civilizations are what we are right now. You are basically landlocked on your home solar system. On your home planet.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Go ahead. I got you.
Stage 1 is routine travel within your solar system.
Right.
Stage 2 is routine travel between star systems. Stage 3 is routine rearrangement of star systems.
Right.
And stage 4 is like Q-like power, where you have technology everywhere and you can basically snap your fingers and you have magical powers that causes things to happen.
Did you say rearrangement of star systems? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's a stage 3 civilization.
That's 3, Mike. 3.
I don't like this moon here and this sun. Could you move that over there?
Yeah.
I'm having a party, and I'm gonna need more area. Wow, that's
where you get into people building things like Dyson spheres.
Right.
Okay, where literally they can terraform a planet. That's just a normal procedure. You get to a star system. It's like, okay, we need to adjust the orbit of that planet. They've got gravity manipulation. They can do that sort of thing. But basically, doesn't matter how you do it. But if you're rearranging solar systems, you're a stage 3 civilization. And mankind has advanced to the stage 2 civilization, routine travel between star systems. And the enemy that they're facing is a stage 3 civilization.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So they get utterly annihilated. And the fight goes all the way back to Earth. And they have one big giant party of a battle where there are literally billions of soldiers, millions of starships, and they get their butts royally whooped.
Wait, hold on. I got one question though. To this third alien race, are we just as tasty to them though? I mean,
no, they don't care about anybody in their area. They prefer to live in a synthetic reality. They basically live in the Matrix. And they only come out to do house cleaning every couple of thousand years.
Well, we'll just introduce them to the Wachowski brothers and sisters.
But the reason they do that is because they want to keep their area clean. and that's why we didn't run into any aliens when we first came out, when we first achieved star travel.
Oh, I got you.
They routinely clean this area.
Oh my god! Oh, so
like, who put that there?
Yeah.
Exactly. We found all these perfect star systems, and we're like, "This is great. We can expand here. We can colonize."
That is beautiful.
We were the roaches
I love
that
it.
came back in. We were the.
That's like, dude. That's like when you walk into, let's say, all right, so let's say you're gonna go shopping, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you walk into the supermarket and everything's open and all the food's there, right? Nobody's standing at the register, nobody's anywhere, and you're just like, well, this is great. I can do all my shopping. I can just go get all my stuff, but that's when the red light goes off and it goes, wait a minute, why is there nobody in the store that's wide open? What? There's nobody here, right? That's what they should have been doing. They should have been going, wait a minute. Not that it would have done them any good.
Hey, Pete,
it's
remember
like
that
the beginning
time
of the zombie movie where the guy walks out of the hospital and everything's deserted. It's like, this is great. I have free run. I don't have to worry about society anymore.
Pete, remember that time when we were driving around and we drove into this church area because we were like just, I don't know, speeding and doing all this. And we drove into this church. It was like super dark out. And it was, you even turn the lights out and we're just driving around this parking lot. And you drove through this little path. And all of a sudden you turn the lights on and we realized, it's a cemetery.
Right.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Oh my goodness. You almost made me spit water.
Oh,
yeah,
man,
it was like that. We were just like, what?
It was like literally out of the movie. Like you both look at each other.
Yeah, right. Dude, that was forever ago. All right, so
basically the aliens see us as like a roach infestation.
Right. Yep.
And so
they're not totally wrong.
And they squish the roaches.
Yeah.
And so the story begins after one of the most powerful starships from that previous war is able to blast its way out and escape with a whole bunch of other warships and rendezvous with a refugee fleet from all the planets that the bad guys have already toasted. Right. And the story begins when they get to their destination. It's not like a runaway story like a lot of the Exile stories out there. The interesting part, in my opinion, is not the running away part. The interesting part is once they escape, once they get to a new destination, they're like, well, we got to carve ourselves a home.
Right, right.
Yeah. So that's where the story begins. They
preferably
find
under a rock.
What?
Preferably under a rock.
Big rock. So I think I was reading in when I was reading your Ford stuff, because I haven't read your book yet. But I was reading somewhere, it said that Earth was destroyed. So Earth is destroyed, right? Earth is gone.
Well, the actual planet itself is still a ball of rock sitting there.
Right.
But human civilization has been obliterated.
Okay.
There's a little
there are humans in the universe, but there's none on Earth.
Yes.
Okay.
But most of the colonies have been obliterated. As far as the people who are running away know, they're the last humans alive. Because they think that the aliens are just trying to exterminate everything, which they are. But the problem with exterminators is, if you've ever actually tried to perform extermination in your house, you'll know you never get all of them.
No.
Yeah.
No. They
just ask the Daleks.
No. So, all right. So you have, the books are about the colonies of people that are left over. So it's a, are they trying to, so they're trying to rebuild?
Yes.
Obviously.
And the primary group that's the focus of the first trilogy, they actually found an area that was a very promising home. The problem is it's in the middle of its own war. And yeah. So they end up taking sides just so they can have a place to land.
Mm. Oh, okay.
Little, Far Side philosophy there.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining some of the stuff you probably go into in the story is like the repercussions of that. And it's like, well, we pick this side, and then they start realizing, oh crap, man, we don't really like this side all that much. Or there are things about this side that we don't care for.
Well, and ramifications, because if you're going to merge your society with another one, and that society has different ideals than yours.
Right.
And like, let's say that just, for mental thought, what if they don't value democracy as much as you do?
Right. Right.
And your leaders say, okay, we're going to sacrifice a little democracy so that we can form a new society and actually survive.
Yeah, but is it are you sacrificing dictatorship versus some libertarianism, a little socialism? I mean, what are you trading off for?
Right.
Yeah, and is the terminology? Does the terminology actually mean anything? Because I have a lot of things that are overt in the story, and you can tell just by reading the text what I'm trying to say, and many more things that are more covert, that are in the subtext. One of them, I'll just come out and say it, and if the readers watch this, they can go back and find it for themselves. But I really question terminology, because if you say someone is a king, but they don't have the power of a king, are they really a king?
Right. Yep. I like that. I like that. Yeah. It's all right. So in my work, I do engineering work, but I'm not a degreed engineer, but I do a lot of engineering. Right. So when people ask me what I am, I say I'm an engineer. And I had somebody, they're like, yeah, but you're not an engineer. I'm like, if I engineer, I am an engineer.
Yeah.
Just like if you work on cars all day long, guess what? You are a mechanic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exactly right. Although, even though I do tons and tons of editing, I do not consider myself an editor.
Well, that's your personal choice.
Yeah. I'm one of those unique people where I actually am an author with dyslexia.
Okay.
And so I love my editors. I love them dearly.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah. I always say I wish I had a live-in editor, like all the time. Like when I text something to somebody, it's like I'd like to be able to go, I'm about to text this. Could you please check this for me?
No.
Oh,
Pete,
yeah,
that's different. Pete, that's different. That's when we call you need an editor for that. That's your conscience we're talking about you needing. Okay. That's when we say we want to check your texts. It's not for spelling, buddy. It's to see if
content.
It's socially appropriate.
Your conscience is telling you you're not allowed to use the word lols.
Right. or other words.
Yes.
Mike's like, were you really thinking that? Did that really, that was really in your head?
Pete, sometimes our inside voice is not supposed to speak for our outside voice. Okay, buddy?
Some people don't have a brain mouth filter. Some people like Donald Trump.
Right. Yeah. I'm not like Donald Trump, I swear. Hey, stop pointing at me. Stop it. So stop it. So, all right. So, you were mentioning in our previous, prior to the show and in our correspondence that you're really big on hard sci-fi. And I think we talked about this a little bit at the beginning of the show. What is the most egregious thing? What is the thing that when you read in science fiction or see in a movie or whatever, what is the thing that bothers you the most that science fiction creators do? Like, it doesn't have to be one thing in particular. It doesn't even have to be the worst, but the one that you can think of at the moment that kind of picks at you.
I've always really hated subspace.
Okay.
I think that, it's just an excuse for space magic.
Right.
And it's if something is not explainable with normal science or even theories, they just say, "Oh, that's a property of subspace." It is the dustbin into which we sweep everything inconvenient.
Right.
Subspace.
I think one of the things I hate the most is the just the willy-nilliness of how a lot of science fiction creators deal with gravity.
Yes.
Like
hey,
this ship
lightly.
has artificial gravity automatically. Like, and there's no other technology that would play into them having done that. Like, you'll have other things like, let's take, for example, movies where someone might lose a limb. Mm-hmm. And they get a cybernetic limb in its place, except they have anti-gravity and faster light travel. They have laser guns. They have all this other stuff, right? But we are currently on the cusp of growing new limbs for people. Like us, we may see it in our lifetime. Like it's that realistic. And we're like this close. We're very, very close. Mm-hmm. But these guys can do all this stuff. They can travel to other planets, other star systems, right? Mm-hmm. But they can't regrow limbs. They can't do it. Can't be done.
Yeah.
Got to get a metal one.
I actually do have people regrowing limbs synthetically, but usually you have to have a cybernetic adapter between the grown limb and the new one. And a lot of people actually, because of the events in the first novel, choose to be cyberized.
Okay, but see, that's now I can see why you would do that in the I want a metal limb because flesh is weak. You know, I want a cyber limb. I can get that.
There
right?
are people who take it way too far.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Ghost in the Shell too far.
Yeah. Oh, in your book.
In book 2, you start to have those people start to appear.
Right.
Book 3 in that series is where it's going to get really creepy with that.
Oh, cool. Oh, I like it. I like that.
All right. So I have a question. So it sounds like you were describing everything you were describing in the beginning. You were saying, "Oh, this is all basically in the prelogue or the whatever that thing is called."
Prologue.
Yes, that. That all that information has already happened, and you're sort of now jumping into this story while they're starting to look for a new home. I mean, like the first book opens up. Just to be clear, the first book opens up. At what point in the history? With the first race?
The prologue will
race?
reiterate what I just told you there.
Okay.
I just told you the prologue.
Okay. So do you have plans then? My question is, do you have plans to write sort of the backstory of that, sort of your prequels?
Actually, I did begin writing a short story series set during that war.
Okay, because I'm very fascinated. The part that you were telling me already, I'm like, oh my God, I really like that.
Well, I wouldn't have written it into the story unless I liked it too.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But I think the thing that really bugs me other than subspace is when people act as if you can just do away with money in a society and it's not going to have any ramifications. The big thing that bugged me the most in Star Trek was the fact that we don't use money. We just work to better ourselves.
Right.
Yeah, that worked really well for the Soviet Union.
Right.
But there was money. There were credits and stuff, right?
Yeah, but they used credits as money, but then because they don't call it money, it's not money.
Right. But it's
gold star.
But it's totally money, right?
It's just the socialist writers are fantasizing about a world that doesn't have money. And that is terrible, terrible creative integrity.
Right. Yeah, money was actually a great invention. It is what
I when I was in college I studied currency theory. This is actually what I have a degree in. And money has never not existed. If you value something enough to give it to somebody else for something, that item you're trading is money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it's just you're changing two types of money. So if you have furs and he has meat and you trade them, that's basically like trading euros for dollars.
Sure. I was thinking along the lines of like a standardized currency was a really cool invention in that it allowed people to be on a playing field and allowed you to trade in great numbers instead of just like, Caragnar with
although that was invented, by the Babylonians. I mean, that's been around as long as we've had written history.
Sure. Yep. Absolutely. Yep.
So
I like the society. You've ever heard of the society that they have these giant rocks and some of them are even like kind of partially submerged and like you use this big rock and I think they have carvings on them and stuff. You can use that as kind of like a currency. Like they have a currency system built around this and they don't take the rocks anymore. The rock just sits there. But if I wanted to buy something huge, I'd be like, half this rock is yours now. I don't know the details of this. I've read about this just in passing, and I was like, "That's."
You could say that monetary system rocks.
Yes. They have hard currency.
Yes.
Josh, I don't know. I don't think you have kids yet, right?
No.
So whether or not you have planned to, I'm not going to pry. But Peter, since you would now have a child, you're going to get this SpongeBob. It's a rock.
Oh God. Yes.
So yes, SpongeBob.
No, I had little brothers. I'm familiar with SpongeBob.
There you go.
So in your universe, just out of curiosity, like what does the interaction with the soldiers? How do they work? Do they use laser guns? Do we have laser guns or
they use basically plasma-filled projectile weapons.
Okay.
They took the best of both worlds from the plasma weapons that the enemy was using, and they took the standby human weapon that always works throwing something physical at the other guy.
Oh, yeah.
And they combine the two. So it fires a physical projectile that has embedded in it a capsule of plasma. So it will impact. The idea is you want to punch through the shield with the projectile and then explode with the plasma.
Yes. Okay. Cool. I like that. Yeah, because you watch movies where they have people firing laser guns and stuff, and that's cool and all. But like, anytime I've ever tried, so I do some game design stuff, and I've written some adventures for role playing games and stuff.
I actually have a game in the works right now. It's
cool.
In the pitch stage, but
nice.
We've got people that have already signed up to be aboard the production team.
Oh, that's fantastic. That'll be good support.
And
this sounds like a world ripe for a role playing game. Very
yes.
Dude,
it's a MMO is what we're currently pitching.
So this is a computer. It'd be even better as an MMO. Yeah. Okay. Mike, what were you saying?
I was gonna say I've been wanting to ask about developing this into just a role playing game, though. I mean, I don't know. If,
Mike's talking about a tabletop, like dice.
Yeah. Are you a role player?
Yeah. Your sound cut out there for a minute.
Oh, do you ever do any role playing?
Periodically. I never really got into it because writing is an extremely time consuming use of your time.
Try role playing.
And when you combine that with working a regular job, and I'm actually going to get married, like I said, on February 13th.
Sorry, I forgive you.
I don't have a lot of time for role-playing games.
Yeah, it does, and that does take up a lot of time. Well, but okay, so let me finish up real quick. So I tried to figure out what the benefit of a laser gun would be. Like why would you use a laser gun over a projectile? And the only things I could think of. Okay, so I'm like, okay, well, it looks cool, but then again, real lasers wouldn't look like that. They would probably be invisible, so you wouldn't see it, and you wouldn't hear them. So it would literally be somebody going.
Yeah, the battlefields would be silent exchanges of people just falling down dead
and screaming or vaporizing.
All you would hear is little thud, 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 thud. And people die.
And sizzling.
And sizzling. And eventually it would just smell like that most terrible barbecue that has ever happened in the history of mankind.
So that first race would be like licking their chops.
Right.
Yeah. A battle for them is like just an appetizer.
Right. It's like, why do you guys use laser guns? It's like, so we don't have to do any cooking when we're done.
And that's the thing. They actually use kinetic weapons that superheat the air in front of them, like a microwave gun.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
And so, it is one of those very horrifying. A battle against them is a very, very horrifying experience. It's just people being cooked alive and splattered and ripped apart because they're way bigger than us, way more violent than us, and they're actually I don't know how much I want to give too much away, but they are very intentionally crafted to be extremely violent creatures.
Awesome. Okay, so because I'm thinking you go back to like the guns we have today.
Yeah.
So projectiles, a chemical explosion, hurling.
We put it through a lot of field testing. We know that this is an efficient weapon.
It works fantastic, right? It's very efficient. The chemical energy delivery packet is fantastically efficient. To step it up and to start shooting lasers at people, it's kind of like, well, you have to have supercapacitors and you have to have, you have to generate all this energy and like. Are you really getting a whole lot out of it? Because I mean, how heavy is your battery going to be compared to how heavy would your ammo be? And
generally, when it comes to when you're in battle, efficiency is the most important thing. And it is not efficient to replace battlefield technology. It is efficient to improve upon battlefield technology, which is why when I was looking at how to decide what weapons to give my human forces, I said, okay, what would humans actually do? Given their whole history of combat theory and war and everything that goes on with the human being, and even the ergonomics of how to use the weapon.
Right.
Ergonomics play a huge part of this.
Okay.
And they would add the plasma to the combat round. They would not replace the combat round with something else.
Dude, that sounds devastating because I mean, if you think about what does damage, it's it's the energy that gets delivered into the being. So like
exactly. It's like a hollow point round times a million.
Yeah. Because if you have like a really penetrating round, it'll punch through a person. You'll lose most of your energy. Whereas if you can have a round that say disintegrates inside of a person, it'll dump all that energy into them and blow them into pieces. So if, like what you're saying, if you got plasma, so that's superheated, which is, heat is energy. So that's a ton of energy in that round, gets inside the person, it explodes. So you're delivering, like, they're literally shooting bombs at people.
Yes, they are.
That's fantastic.
And they're facing such incredibly powerful and vicious enemies that's what they need in order to survive. I wanted to paint a picture of a universe that's so incredibly hostile that it takes everything that we have, even with these incredibly powerful weapons, it takes everything we got just to survive.
Nice. Okay, well, we got to wrap this up soon because we're running on time. But I want to ask you just a couple more things. So, how's this been received so far? Is this your sales been good? Have you gotten some good feedback?
For a new author, just fresh on the scene for about a year and a half, they've been great.
Awesome.
The hardest part is getting exposure, which we're working on right here.
Yes.
And getting reviews. The reviews that I do have are great. That's the one thing I would ask anybody who goes out there and read it. Share it and review it.
Okay. And where do you live? So you're a couple time zones behind us. Where do you live?
I live in Washington State. So you know where Seattle is?
Yes, I do. Okay.
I live 40 minutes east along the I-90, right where you hit the mountain range.
Okay. Yep. I know about where that is. I've been to the military base there, and I can't think of the name of it. Fort
Lewis McChord.
Yep. I've been there.
Joint base
and Tacoma.
Tacoma is a very industrial city. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So any hopes or plans for this to be an audiobook?
There was actually an audiobook produced for an early version of it before it was the rights were purchased by my current publisher.
Okay.
And so they are actually available on eBay and such like that. And it is essentially the same text as the current text available. So there is kind of an audiobook available. You have to look for it. But right now there's nothing on Audible or anything like that.
Okay.
Did you negotiate for this round or for this next couple of books? Are you thinking about negotiating for separate audio rights or?
Well, they do have the audio rights. What I'm negotiating for with all small, it's not a huge publisher. I'm not with Penguin Publishing. They do have a lot of books out and they're growing, but as with all small publishers, marketing is not their forte. So and all the amenities like audiobooks and stuff like that are harder. I do have negotiated into my contract that if I find someone who wants to do an audio recording of the book, they will put it out there and have it published. So there is an option for that. I just have not had time to pursue a voice actor to play that position.
Well, if you do, another thing you can do is because we're friends with quite a few authors who do audiobook their stuff, like Scott Sigler and we're not good friends with Mer Lafferty, but we know her. I don't know if you ever heard any of these people. But you can if you get it recorded, one of the things you can do is you could start a podcast and podcast stream it. That seems to work for Scott pretty well. Or go to Podiobooks, Evo Terra's.
That sounds wrong.
What Podiobooks? Oh yeah, Potty. Right, yeah. No, but it's a lot of authors, a lot of indie authors have done that. They've gotten their stuff on Podiobooks. It gets the book in people's ears, and Scott swears by it. He says that he matter of fact, in his contracts now, even with because I forget who he's with Random House. He has it written into his contract that he is allowed to, if he chooses to podcast all of his books completely for free. And still makes money. He's like he swears by it. He's like it doesn't hurt my sales 1 cent.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's just something to think about. Maybe.
Oh, I would totally do it, and I bet my publisher would be on board with that.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. I would totally listen to it. I have a hard time sitting down and reading books. I'm so busy that it's hard for me to sit down and read a book. But I will burn through audiobooks. Like I buy an audiobook every month. To listen to. So I love the sound of this. I'm tempted to buy the book anyway and sit down and force myself to read the actual paper.
When you read it, do you mind putting a recorder on so that then I can listen to that? Because
right.
Just
right. Awesome.
While you're already going to be reading it.
What's it?
While you're already going to be reading
it. One more time.
Go,
Ready,
Mike.
Go.
While you are already going to be reading it.
Yes.
That's all I said.
Right. I see. That's what you're saying. Right.
But
so I should read out loud. I should be like, and then the soldier fired the. Yeah, I'm not a. I don't think I'd be a good.
But Josh, you know what?
It deals with a lot more than soldiers. It deals with a lot of deep issues like insanity and stuff.
Oh well.
Check out Sigler's page. He does a lot of sort of inside baseball of what he does.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, and he's freely gives any and all advice. We are, we consider ourselves pretty good friends with him. He comes to Balticon, and we see him at Dragon Con and stuff. So, as we are wrapping this up, I'm thinking, would we potentially be able to see you at any of these cons? You said you travel around to different cons. Where, and for anyone who's listening, where will you be in the next, this coming con season?
I'm working on a deal with my publisher to get me out to a lot more cons. Right now, I'm in the Pacific Northwest area a lot. Emerald City Comic Con, Sakura Con, Jet City Comic Con, things like that. I did get an invitation to Dragon Con last year. Unfortunately, my job didn't allow me to go. But I'm experiencing a different phase in my career right now, so odds are I'll have much more freedom to attend conventions.
We have every intention of being in Dragon Con.
Contact us. We will put you in touch with a bunch of people that we know.
Nice.
Okay. Absolutely. Yeah. Because when we hang out there, we hang out with a bunch of indie authors. We hang out with Sigler. We hang out with Paul Cooley, who's another awesome author.
Oh, yeah.
I know Cooley.
Okay, you know, cool. Okay, so we hang out with a bunch of these people. So if you should go to Dragon Con and we'll get you to us, you'll be hanging out with all of them. And if you want to like network and stuff like that, that's a great place to do it.
Nice.
Because we will be there this year, and good chances we'll be there next year too.
And ironically, Balticon of all places, is a really big author con.
Yes, especially indie author. Huge.
Yeah.
So if you have any way of getting out to Balticon, that's another place where we know a lot of people we go to. That's our backyard. That's where we live.
Oh, okay.
So if you should, I mean, hell, man, you know what? I'll tell you what. If you can get out here, I'll give you a place to stay. Stay in my guest room.
Cool. That'd be great.
You can ride down with us. So,
awesome.
I'll even pick you up from the airport. All right, so let's wrap this up. You can find Joshua Dunn's stuff, all his good stuff, at Goodreads. Look in the link. There's a bunch of numbers and stuff in here. But if you go to Goodreads and type in Joshua Dunn, you'll find it.
Goodreads, Amazon, anywhere. Just type in JOSHUA space DONE, and you'll find me.
Yeah, when I was looking you up, I was looking for stuff, researching you on my own. If I typed in Joshua Dunn, you popped right up.
Yeah,
right to the top. So, and Twitter, Joshua Dunn.
Yeah, I always respond to tweets, no matter how stupid they are.
Like, so you're a Twitterer.
Really?
Yeah.
Challenge accepted. No.
Right, but it might involve some scathing sarcasm.
Awesome, fantastic.
Challenge accepted.
Okay. Two of my favorite words. All right, so Joshua, thanks for coming on the show, but hang around because we are going to do at least one more thing.
Okay.
Mike?
Yeah.
I'm going to hand the show off to you for the game.
Okay. And while we're doing this for the first time,
okay.
Since
we got a new format. We're trying some new stuff out this go.
Right. So
this and we haven't done a game yet.
Have you tried to do games yet?
Yes, we have in the previous seasons, just not in this season because the last two shows we had technical issues and we just didn't get to the game because we were screwing around with that. Anyway, Mike.
All right. So I have this preview window already. Yeah, well, you know what? We'll just go with it and see what happens. What's the worst that could happen? He said.
What's the worst could happen?
So I think all I'll do post is run everything, right? Should I go to the window and then start the music? Is that how this is going to work? And we put the bumpers on? I can't remember.
Yes. That's right, Mike. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Where is the keyboard? There we go.
I don't.
And
it's that thing you type on with the keyboard.
Shut up.
Click.
This is on me.
Where do astronauts go to drink?
What's that?
The space bar.
Oh my God. When you have kids, you're gonna be good. Those are some good dad jokes.
I'm definitely. I never pass up the opportunity to pun.
I'm right there with you. I'm terrible. We have a whole skit where I just do nothing but terrible, horrible puns.
Nice.
Yes.
I'd like that skit.
It's our Darth Blix. I got to do one, Mike, soon.
Haven't
done a Darth Blix in a while. It's a Joshua. That's while Mike's doing his thing. It's a takeoff the old Johnny Carson Karnak routine. Where I get in. Well, we split it up. Mike has the envelopes, but Mike will hold up an envelope and I will give him the answer, and then he opens the envelope and pulls it out and reads the question. So it's like a reverse joke,
like Jeopardy,
right? And it's always sort of a pun.
Okay.
It's almost always a pun.
It's like Pun Jeopardy.
Yes. And sometimes they're funny, and then when they're not funny, that's funny because everybody groans, and so,
Yep.
Because usually when they're not funny, it's really bad. All right, Mike, are we good?
I think so. All right, let's. I'll just switch the camera there, and we will move on to.
It's the duck dance.
Oh, it's better than that. Welcome to the MythWits Game Corner. I'm your game master, Michael Kafis, and with me as usual is Peter Blix Bryant, and not Brian Olvera, because his thing was sick, and our special guest, Joshua Dunn, special author of Masters of the Universe. No, not Masters of the Universe.
No.
Masters of a Universe. Joshua Dunn. How you doing, Josh?
Good. I'm master of my own universe.
But are you king of your own castle?
No, not yet.
Oh. Okay. All right, guys. Well, today we are going to play Movie Madness, and that is Movie Poster Madness. For those of you who have not played, I will be sharing my screen, so you don't have to look at my ugly face much longer, I promise.
Oh, thank God.
I know. What a relief.
I'm still here. Now, what I cannot see, because it's really bizarre, is... sorry. I cannot see if this is centered on the screen. Can anyone see if this is centered on the screen?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, good. Well, hopefully in post we'll see that this is working. So, I will have 5 movie posters that I'm going to display for you all. All the words have been removed from the poster, as you saw accidentally recently, but your mission will be to choose which... because the words are there, see? So your mission, should you, and you will choose to accept it, will be to correctly name the movie advertised in the poster. Peter?
Oh, I want to say we got to make sure we have our audio podcast going now, so people might be listening to this right this second. Not this second now, because we're just recording it now, but this second as in they're the listener listening to it this second. Listen to me saying this second. So we must describe
their second, not your second.
Yeah, their second, not your second. So, hey, listener, if you're listening to this, this is your second, not mine.
Your dime, my time. That being said, each
so are we just supposed to shout out the answer if we have it?
No. Do not shout it out. We will go from, you're our guest, Joshua, so you will go first, and you can name this. If you do, in fact, know it, then you can, and feel free to use any kind of game theory that you wish. But that is, you go first, you name it, and if you can't, that's fine. But then Pete gets to go, and whoever has the, which of you will have the right answer. Not a clue for you, Josh. Okay? Peter.
All right. So this is a woman with a G string, and in front of her is what I think is Woody Harrelson holding his arms out like Jesus
redhead
with a redhead Jesus with an American flag as a diaper. And I'm gonna say this is Larry Flint, the Larry Flint movie. Larry Flint versus Larry Flint.
Is that your final answer?
That is my final answer.
The People versus Larry Flint is correct, sir.
Nice. I got a point.
Yes. So that would be your point. And now, Pete, this will be your turn to go first. And either you get it or you don't. And then you can game theory it however you wish. And we move on.
And
to
also,
Josh.
real quick, we should mention that Joshua, don't say anything when I'm doing mine, because if I'm wrong, let me be wrong. Because you'll get a chance to guess too. We can both get points for this.
Okay.
Yes. And here we go.
Shit. All right. So
you've seen the same picture I am?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is not shit. No, I don't think the name of the movie is shit. No,
that was his guest. He's done.
Yeah. It's a black screen with a woman's face, and I don't even fully recognize her, but she looks like maybe Angelina Jolie, but probably not. Face something. Yeah, face is my guess.
Face is your guess. Joshua.
I don't know. It looks like one of those art house science fiction ones where they didn't have enough budget, so they minimized. I'm going to go with something like Aeon Flux.
Okay. Now, keep in mind, what I've done is I have photoshopped out all of the words from the poster.
Yeah.
Okay, but yes, you pretty much you're right. But it actually, as you will see, that's the actual
salt. Yeah. Okay.
Our minds have been assaulted.
Oh wait, that was Angelina Jolie.
It was.
You're right.
Sorry to pour a little salt in your wounds.
It's like they used computer generation to make her look 20 years younger.
Yes. Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Whatever it takes, babe. Whatever it takes.
Right.
All right. What movie is this, Joshua? You are up at bat.
Well, it's obviously something about the Headless Horseman. I don't know. There's a lot of names that could go with that. Woody Hollow, something like that.
So you're saying Woody Hollow?
No, I don't know. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, let's go with that.
Let's go with Woody Hollow.
Yeah.
Okay. And Peter.
All right. So this is a poster of Johnny Depp, and there is a young woman in front of her. Woman. And Josh was right. This is something to do with the Headless Horseman. So I'm going to say Johnny Depp, Headless Horseman's got to be Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow.
Yep, he's probably right.
And the answer is Sleepy Hollow.
Oh, I like it. Heads will roll. Nice.
That's right.
You're on a roll here.
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
Sushi roll.
Yeah.
Okay. That was number 3. Here we go on to number 4. That brings Peter up at bat.
Oh, come on. Come on.
That's not even.
Like, it's a gimme. All right. Anyway, it's Gerard Butler with his 20-pack in his red cape, and he's got the
leather underwear.
His leather underwear, and
evidently somebody sliced him in a very bad spot. Oh no!
Oh, very bad spot, and he's saying, "You shall not pat." No, definitely no. It's 300.
300.
It is.
Josh, you want to take a stab? I mean, maybe it's the
it's
sequel 301. No, okay.
It's 301.
No, it's the sequel. Yeah, you pulled it right out of my mouth.
All right, that is correct. And let's see. That was Peter up at bat, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's Josh up at bat. And you know what? Because what is the score right now, Peter?
3-1.
3-1. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
getting clobbered.
Well, that's okay because see, as a game master, I always alter the rules to at least give the guest an edge. And the interesting thing is, I don't know whether Pete's going to know this or not, but I'm going to give you the possibility of winning the game by giving you this, making this if I make this 3 points, Even if
we
he
don't need
gets
to
it.
do that.
Yeah. Oh no. This next one is a 3 point. It's 3 points for either person. You just happen to go next.
Okay.
All right, here we go. What movie is this? I was very pleased with my Photoshop on this, by the way. Just saying.
What is that?
Well, I don't know.
What
What really gets me is the fact that he looks like he's wearing modern clothes, but the whole setting, it gives a Last of the Mohicans vibe. It would really help to have more resolution on what he's carrying there.
Let's just call it a suitcase.
It's called a suitcase.
Yes.
A
modern day.
I saw a
Samsonite.
short film that this would have been perfect for, but I know it's not that because it's a short film. And the guy in the picture looks either American Indian or possibly slightly Asian.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, it's obviously set in modern day. So I'm just going to go with Blood Diamond.
Okay. Peter.
I'm thinking. I can't tell because you're right. The resolution's a little rough to deal with.
Really?
The
Looks
guy
clear to
could
me.
be American Indian. Could maybe be a black. I don't know. I can't tell.
Yeah,
and the
so-
guy's running, and he's carrying modern stuff. He's got a gun.
That definitely looks like a rifle on his other
Yeah, it does look
hand
like a
there.
rifle.
Oh, I just figured it out.
Wind Talkers.
No,
Okay.
no, it's
Pete's going
it's
with
a,
Wind Talkers. Hold on. Josh, I'm gonna let you change your answer if you think you know it. What is it?
No, I don't remember the exact name. I don't remember why can't I remember the actor's name?
This is awesome because
Briscoe County Jr. He does. He was in Burn Notice. He was in those time travel.
Campbell.
What?
Campbell.
Yeah,
Bruce
Campbell. Yeah, Bruce Campbell. It's one of those old Bruce Campbell movies where he goes back in time and has his boomstick and stuff like that.
This is Evil Dead.
Nope.
This isn't an Evil.
Okay.
Nope. But Peter,
Okay.
you love this movie.
No Country.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. So
No Country for Old Men.
The guy he was basically a South American Indian, right? The lead actor, wasn't he? Chavez or something like that. I don't know.
So basically, I'm -2 points, and you've got 0 points.
No, you don't lose points. You never lose points.
No, we got to do the losing point. We got to. we're not. We didn't just lose this. We got clobbered.
Yeah,
Okay.
we did.
And since there was no tie, but what for the hell of it? I'm gonna say, do you guys remember the name of her? Because you already called out Johnny Depp, but the other girl with Johnny Depp that was on the movie poster for Sleepy Hollow. Did you remember her name?
I know, but I got a title for her. Babyface McFluffy hair.
That's what they used to call her, Babyface McFluffy hair Ricci.
Yeah.
Ricci. Oh, that's Ricci. Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. She was in that. Christina Ricci. That's right.
And this one, does anyone know his the big face actor? What was his name?
Javier, I think, was his first name, wasn't it? I think there's a Javier in there.
I don't know it. I'm not a big trivia person.
That was, and let me just go bring it back up to here.
Oh, look, we can see his desktop. Everybody steal his identity.
Don't look. That was, what the hell is that guy's name? That is that Josh Brolin?
Oh, Josh Brolin was the hero. Yeah, Josh Brolin was what we thought was the hero until we found out that he really wasn't the hero, and it was actually the bad guy.
Javier Bardem. That's what it is.
Javier, see?
Yeah, you're right.
Nice.
All right. Well, I mean, that is our game. Sorry for the audio listeners. That may not transcribe too well, but Pete did his best, as I did not, describing the pictures. So But it
hey, you never know. There might be some audience members out there that could beat us on audio description alone.
I'm sure there are many out there because we did not do a good job.
No, we did not do very well.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
The final score was Joshua 1, Peter 3. I win the first game of the season.
As it should be for the host.
Actually, no. Nope. I prefer when the guest wins. I always like it when the guest wins. That always makes me happier.
Our winner.
If it was history trivia, I would have beaten you.
All right. Well, yeah, you probably would have. All right. Well, Joshua, we have you back on. We'll have to do a trivia history game, right, Mike? Mike, you're on
Mike's
camera.
Been distracted by real life.
I can't find my. Hold on. You got to get your winner music. I didn't work on this all freaking day.
It's very important to him. It's very important to him.
Yes, it's very important. And our winner, Peter Bryant.
That's funny.
Thank you, everyone, for playing MythWits Game Corner. Join us next time as we play some other bizarre game.
Hey, the next time we do Movie Madness, we got to
Yes.
do the soundbite one.
Okay.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
Yeah. That also translates well for the audio listeners. So congratulations.
Much better, because then they can play at home.
Well, hey, if you're an audio listener, you should be a video listener or video watcher.
Well, at least go
Shame
online.
on you for not listening to something you could watch.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Go online and check it out because we throw the game into the feed. What did we do that in the middle of the week?
That's
right.
Fridays.
On Fridays. So we throw that in there.
This would be the following Friday.
Yes. And if you're there and you're listening and you're like, this is kind of stupid. Well, all the games will not be stupid on the audio feed there. I guarantee you will like them. But you know what? This is
just some of them. Some that we guarantee. Don't
believe him. They will be. They'll just be fun, stupid.
Right. Fun.
Yeah. Why are you so stupid? Stupid.
All right, Mike. Let's pull the plug.
Okay.
He was thinking something different.
Yes. Don't pull that.
I don't have my other soundboard, or else I'd give you the.
Okay. All right.
All right. We like to thank our guests one more time, Peter.
Yes, Joshua, thanks for coming on the show. Joshua Dunn. So if again, it's good to do this again anyway, because if you're listening to the game show and you haven't watched the whole show, so we want to remind people that the game show is only part of the whole show. So if you're just tuning in for this, go back, check out the whole episode, or at least the interview. The stuff in between sucks anyway. Joshua Dunn is a science fiction author. He writes books in the Hyperion Empire. His first book was Exile Empire. His second book was Ascension. And do we have a title for the third book yet?
Blood Nobles.
Oh, I like it. I like it already. You can find Joshua Dunn on Goodreads and on Facebook. And he has a YouTube channel and on Amazon. Just type in Joshua, Joshua, if you can't spell, Dunn, Done, and he will turn up in your feed. Or you can check the links down below or wherever.
That would be me. I can't spell. I was going with the DUN, but that's
right. Yeah, that's right.
Well,
yeah,
I'm gonna break your guys' world. It's actually pronounced Doan.
Doan. Oh, you know what? Now I would know how to spell it immedely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's phonetic. It's phonetic.
It is phonetic. Okay. Not all names are.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. So done. The word done. We don't get into an English explanation. Never mind. I could go all day trashing English.
We done already trashed it.
We done
that.
Right. We done that already.
Yeah.
Mike, take us out.
All righty.
And I probably won't hear this closing music, will I?
No, you told me to turn it off.
Okay, that's fine. Just give me a signal or something. Let me know when I'm going to
go. Sure. Give it a shot.
Now?
No.
Okay.
A little while ago.
Okay, you've just enjoyed another awesome episode of the MythWits. A special thanks goes out to our guest, Joshua Doan. Make sure to check out his books on Amazon and at the links below. Join us for a live broadcast every week, Mondays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time to catch the full show. Jump into the chat room and ask our guest questions. If you missed our live show, you can always catch the encore episodes and the podcast version at our website and on iTunes, which you might be listening to right now. You can find our website at mythwits.com, and you can visit us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Find us under MythWits. It's real simple. Do the like, follow, subscribe thing wherever it's appropriate. Give us a bunch of stars, like all 5, everything, and a review on iTunes. It's super, super important. Hey, go give Joshua some stuff on Goodreads if you read his books. Nice ones, good ones. MythWits is a Studio187.com production and is protected under a Creative Commons license. You can download and share it with whoever you like. Just don't change it and don't try to make money with it. Make sure to check out Studio187.com for more cool stuff. Make sure to join our mailing list and get free stuff every month. It's right on the front page. Go to Studio187.com. There's a join button. Click that. Put in 2 seconds worth of information, and boom, you're on our mailing list. And we'll only mail you once a month. Find out about all the other cool stuff we do there as well. Thank you, Joshua and Mike.
Mom, no derogatory things to tell you today, just that I love you, and I'm going to bed.